All right, I'm back at the remote year workspace. I think it stands for it's WIP. I think it stands for work in progress, but I'm not sure about that. So today I spent a lot of the day thinking about an email, a single email that I ended up sending to my entire family. And it was a response to an email that my little sister sent. Really thoughtful email from her, which kind of summarized a fight that I had been having with my family. And I won't get into the details, but I have beliefs that and just a way of thinking about things that I think are important for people in terms of like emotional development. And so I've been through some tough things in my life, and so I've had a couple businesses fail. I've had years of really very debilitating arthritis when I was in my 20s. Got it when I was 25, actually, and for about a year and a half after, I couldn't walk without unaided. So I used a walker for 3 months, and then a crutches for 6, and then a cane for almost a year after that. And so I've experienced depression in various forms, and had therapy and things like that. So I've taken psychology classes, in grad school, and it's something that I've become more interested in as time goes by, and as I see the value of self-awareness and being able to manage our emotions. I'm by no means some enlightened being, but I do consider myself relatively well-developed emotionally, and it's important to me that my family values, hopefully value things that I value, but there's a lot to be said for just letting them go at their own pace and everything else. But it's also quite a bummer to be separate from them, although there's a lot of value in being separate. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, was the value of having an ocean between you and your friends and family, especially the family. I think it's a quote that said, if you think you're enlightened, go visit your parents, because I know that I regress in certain when I'm with my family or I'm speaking to my family, and just the wrong thing that gets said, some reference or some way of being treated that triggers you and makes you kind of regress back to your 15-year-old self. I've experienced this, and I think a lot of us have. And I don't even remember exactly what the issue was, and it doesn't matter. But it was about a week ago, and I lost my temper, and just let a lot of judgments spill, and they were not as functionally delivered, not as kindly delivered as it probably should have been. And this happens with family, and so then it switched from text to email, and been going back and forth. But today, I decided to respond to an email that I got a day and a half ago, 2 days ago, that I have been thinking a lot about, and that was kind of made it hard to sleep even. I was thinking about it, and so I went on a long walk while I was thinking about what to say and how to answer certain questions, and then I wrote my responses down first in a way that was most satisfying to me, and then I went to eat lunch and thought more, came back and reviewed it and edited it, and I was able to take this time because I have that time, and because I've come to believe that these are really important things. And this is one of the reasons that I'm traveling, is to be separate and to have this personal space to think about things. And you know, hopefully improve in these ways, and maybe help others improve, you know, with my way of thinking about things. But I thought that was really valuable to, versus even if you're in close proximity and you're constantly talking, and, you know, fighting is not the worst thing in the world. In fact, it can be very productive if a resolution is reached and people hear difficult truths, hopefully in a more functional way than dysfunctionally. But maybe that's not usually the case. Maybe it's not always the case. But yeah, that was really nice. I feel very relieved to much more relaxed than I was before I sent it. And part of me said, well, I'm just not going to talk to him from now. I don't need to answer these questions. And you know, I love these people and my family, and as angry and resentful as we can sometimes get, it's always nicer to have a more productive relationship. And so if you have family members that are difficult to communicate with, which is a lot of families, maybe most families, traveling can help to broaden your perspective and hopefully give you the space you need to kind of take your time in approaching communications, and think about them and really develop your approach, and hopefully be kind and thoughtful, but not withholding necessarily. Like, you don't have to you have to make your own decisions about what's productive to say, but you can be, I think, I was able to be much more honest in this email than I have been in the past with my family. So I think that was really, really good. And I told them, take as much time as you need. There's a lot of stuff in there that I don't know if they've heard before. But yeah, another benefit. And then I had some questions that a friend of mine thought might be interesting. A question specifically about my roommates. Here on this Remote Year program, you get a new roommate every month. You can request new roommates, but I've asked to be kind of moved around because I want exposure to different types of personalities and people. And I've been in a 5-person. This is a 4-person. Was the second month. First month I had a great roommate named Charles, who's now dating one of the other Remote Year participants named Amber, and they're just awesome people. But now they're living together. They've elected to live together, and that's cool. I think they get a discount too if you get a 1-bedroom and you share it. And then this month I have a guy from Norway named Ruben, and he's like ex-military guy, super positive and just a really awesome guy. A lot of very cool personalities here. They're everyone's self-selected to be interested in something like this, which is it takes a certain kind of person, to do this. It's got to be an adventurous person to an extent. A lot of tech people on Remote Year. We've got engineers, designers, product managers, and then sales, a lot of sales, copywriters. Age range is wide. We've got people who are just a couple years out of college up to people in their 60s and everything in between. Definitely weighted more toward, I would say, late 20s, mid 30s to mid 30s. There's a big group there, but we've got people in their 40s, people in their 50s, and I think 60s as well. Yeah. Unknown, maybe unexpected benefit. Maybe potentially getting along better with your family, or at least being given the space to approach those relationships and communications in a way that's most productive for you. All right, I'm gonna get to some emails, a few emails, and a few kind of personal admin tasks that I've not been doing for 2 days, and so I'm gonna get to that. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.